What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's video, we're going to be making our Funko Pop and Funko Soda figure predictions for WonderCon 2023.
So, let's check it out.
So for today's video, it's not going to be the traditional predictions video we do where we have a bunch of different categories. We each are going to be doing 6 predictions each, whether it is just Funko Pops, just Funko Sodas, or a mix of both, which I will start off with my predictions and then work our way to MD's predictions. Alright, so starting off with my predictions, which I will admit it was very difficult to do these predictions considering that WonderCon doesn't really have too many trends, like let's say with Emerald City Comic Con, a lot of the pops are green. So the very first prediction I have for WonderCon 2023 is a Funko Soda figure, and it's of Ant-Man. And I think this definitely makes sense. There's a lot of times when Funko will like to do like classic Marvel characters as Comic-Con exclusives, and especially with the movie of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania coming out right before this convention actually happens, I think it definitely makes sense. They did this a couple of years ago, I believe, when they were preparing for the release of Black Widow, and then they did the Black Widow Funko Sodas. Now I think this will kind of be the trend for that, where it is something related to the Ant-Man movie, so I had put Ant-Man. And simply for the chase, I put metallic because I wasn't exactly sure what they could have done. The next pop I have is actually a comic covers, and it is of The Flash. Now, once again, I kind of base this off the fact that this year in 2023 will be the release of the Flash movie for the DC Extended Universe, and although there is a bit of controversy around the whole movie because of the actor doing some shady things and kind of somewhat getting blacklisted, I guess, I know that there's still going to be Funko Pops releasing for that movie, so I think they will do Flash as a comic cover here for, obviously, the comic book version of The Flash. So it will be based off the fact that that movie would come out. I don't exactly know what cover they would use for The Flash for this case, but it does seem realistic considering that at CCXP we got a Joker Pop comic covers, so it is likely that we could see bigger pops like that as convention exclusives. The next item I have listed is a Funko Soda figure, and it is Finn Duchamp from the Fantastic Plastic lineup. Last year we had gotten the, I think it's Auto Funko Soda figure from Fantastic Plastic, where there are 2 chases involved, and that is the same case with this Finn Duchamp, where pretty much I have the regular gray Finn Duchamp that they did as a Funko Pop as the common, and then they did 2 more color variants of blue, and they did orange, and that would exactly be the chase. So you would do Fantastic Plastic, double chases for this Funko Soda. Not exactly sure of the piece count. I think the overall design of Finn Duchamp in pop form looked pretty cool. I'd like to see it be executed very well in Funko Soda form. The fourth item I have predicted here for WonderCon 2023 is of a pop of Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch. Now, we've seen at Funko Fair recently that there's going to be a pop of Reuben with grilled cheese from Lilo and Stitch, and although the 20th anniversary of the movie was last year, it seems like they're kind of catching up on that this year in 2023, so I think this could be the year where finally we get Comic-Con exclusive Lilo and Stitch pops that essentially are of different characters, and they're not just a different version of either Lilo or a different version of Stitch. So I think that would be really cool if we had a pop of him, especially at a con, because I don't know how well it would sell as a common or regular exclusive, so making it a Comic-Con exclusive, let's say even shared to like a box lunch or something, would be pretty cool. The fifth item I have predicted here is a Funko Soda of WALL-E. Now, I think this would be pretty cool, especially because of the way that they could shape it, because sometimes, you know, you usually get your normal shape of a Funko Soda, but this would be a very obscure shape for a Funko Soda, and this also kind of follows a trend that I've noticed with WonderCon. So in WonderCon of 2020, they had done a pop of Miguel from Coco, where he's in the skeleton form and he's playing the guitar. 1 year later in 2021, they did the Funko Soda figure of regular Miguel, with the chase being exactly what the pop was the year prior. Then in 2021, we had gotten the Scientist Yzma and Kronk pops, and then 1 year later, last year in 2022, we had the Scientist Yzma in Funko Soda form. In 2022, we had a Funko Pop of WALL-E. So can you guess what the trend I'm going with here? WALL-E Funko soda. So I feel like it's a cool little trend that no one realizes is actually happening, but I think might actually happen in this case, where because we got the Wally Funko Pop last year, that we could be getting finally a Wally Funko soda this year. And I'm not exactly sure yet how the common and the chase would be. I think you could just do regular Wally himself as the common, and then do some weird obscure version as the chase. And the sixth and final item I have predicted here for WonderCon 2023 is a pop for Spider-Man No Way Home. If you guys remember the predictions video I did recapping what I think will happen in 2023, I basically said that there would be a Comic-Con exclusive for every con for Spider-Man No Way Home, and the character I chose is Flash Thompson. I think this would be a cool character to make as a Comic-Con exclusive rather than just maybe even a regular exclusive, just because he's kind of a little bit of like an obscure character where no one really talks much about Flash Thompson. You can have him with, I believe in this movie for No Way Home, he actually had blonde hair, while in the previous movies, I don't think he had that. So I think it'd be really cool. You can obviously have his phone with him, maybe in like a selfie form, because he's always filming videos. So I think that would be really cool if they did a pop of Flash Thompson. And I think people would go nuts over it, because obviously it's not some sort of version of a Spider-Man like they did for TargetCon, where it's just a Diamond Collection pop of an already existing mold.
Alright, now moving on to my predictions for WonderCon 2023. Starting off kind of in the same way, I know that WonderCon you definitely do see a lot of Disney stuff, and more specifically over the past few years we have seen a lot of Emperor's New Groove. Like DK had discussed, we have seen the scientists Yzma and Kronk, we've seen the Yzma soda, we've seen the Angel Kronk, and I think that that trend will continue, and I would like to see Bucky the Squirrel be a pop. I mean, it makes sense. We do have the Scout version of Yzma as well as Kronk, so it makes sense that we would see Bucky the Squirrel as a pop. I would like to see it as its own pop rather than being like a Pop and Buddy, and obviously we did not get that with the two pops that it would make sense for. Now diving away from the pops for a couple of my predictions here, I have three different sodas. So starting off with the first one, pretty much one that I would love to see. I knew that I had to throw a few sodas on here because WonderCon generally is so soda heavy with the announcements that they make. Ronald McDonald for the ad icons, or for McDonald's for the sodas. I think this would be really cool. I think that it could work out very, very well in soda form. You can kind of give Ronald more of his bushier hair rather than what we see with the pop, which I have somewhere behind me here. And so I think it would look great, maybe even better than the pop itself. And then the chase, I think that there could be a couple different ways that they go with it. I think it would be hard to make him in a running pose. I would like to see that because that kind of makes sense. But I think that the easiest and best way to execute a chase for Ronald McDonald in soda form would simply just be having him hold a Happy Meal box, and I feel like a lot of people would want that version over the common, so it kind of gives you a reason to maybe buy a couple and chase for the chase. Another trend that I have noticed with WonderCon is that we do see some different stuff for Pokemon. I would really like to see Funko kind of go aside from that and stop doing the different specification changes for con pops for Pokemon, because realistically, I mean, we've seen the flocked stuff, which sometimes it didn't make sense when you got flocked Squirtle, for example, which just shouldn't be flocked. And then we've seen the Diamond Collection, we've seen Metallic. I think that they should completely go against that and actually maybe stop doing con pops and move over to sodas. So I have, of course, Pikachu as the first Pokemon Funko soda, and I think that this would be really, really cool. I mean, the stylization of the eyes with the sodas, how it's more of an oval, I think you could really make these Pikachu pops, or not pops, but sodas, and just Pokemon in general, really look great rather than the form that they have with the pop heads that we know and love, obviously. But there's just something with sodas where you can kind of give it a little bit more detail and kind of make it look more like the original thing, which I think would be exactly what would happen with this Pikachu. And of course, the chase version just has to be glow in the dark. I think that they could maybe add some electric bolts coming from the cheeks, but I think simply just the yellow being glow in the dark, or even the red glow in the dark, or both parts of Pikachu would make a lot of sense, and I would hope that the glow would be very, very nice. And then the last soda that I have on my list, I knew I had to add something for Marvel, and that would be for No Way Home with the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Simply the chase would just be with his mask off, so of course you can see Tobey Maguire's beautiful face. I think that that's just the best way to go about it. It doesn't need to be metallic, it doesn't need to have a different pose. I think just mask off, you see Tobey Maguire. That's what the people want. Come on, Funko, give us that. Now, moving back to Pops, I actually also have a Pop from Lilo and Stitch, and that would be Pleakley. What an awesome character. We don't have a Funko Pop of him yet. We have seen, I believe it was a mystery mini back when they did the Lilo and Stitch box, but we haven't seen a Pop, and I think that this one would be really cool. He is a Cyclops character, so he only has one eye, I believe, unless I'm going crazy. That'd be really cool. I do like Pops like that, for example, like Kang and Kodos. It works very, very well with different Pops like that. Of course, Mike Wazowski's another example of a Pop with one eye. I think that this would be a great Pop. I mean, something that people would love. We have seen, of course, the Reuben. So I think that they should do some kind of Lilo and Stitch Pop, and hopefully we see a bunch this year, and definitely one being Pleakley. And then the final Pop for my prediction is another Disney Pop, but it's Pixar, and of course that Pixar movie is Toy Story. Yes, Toy Story. And I'm going to go with a human character, and that character is Sid Phillips. I think that people definitely want to see a Sid Funko Pop. I mean, it's a fan favorite character, even though everyone kind of hates him, but I think that this would be a awesome Funko Pop, and I think that simply the only thing that they have to do with this besides nailing the Pop is having the magnifying glass in his hand. That would be perfect. Why not? Let's see it at WonderCon.
But anyways, guys, that is our predictions for WonderCon 2023. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you guys in the next video. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
Peace in, peace out.